Hi everyone, thanks for joining. In this video we are going to discuss Discogs. It's a fantastic website, database, marketplace for all things music. It's used to buy, sell, research vinyl records, 45s, 78s, cassettes, CDs, just about any sort of music media out there. And if you take a look here at the homepage on Discogs.com, fantastic section right here called Discogs 101. If you click on that, gives you all sorts of information about how to create an account, the different benefits there are to joining. You can see it's really known as a database for music. It's an excellent resource in general. You can find out all sorts of information about your music. I use it primarily for vinyl LPs, and you can look up very specific information regarding the record that you have. It can give you details such as what year it was released, what version you have based upon the matrix numbers within the dead wax. We can go into more detail about records in general in a future video. But for the purposes of this one, I just wanted to show you what an amazing resource Discogs can be. You can also keep a collection of your own records. You can catalog everything that you own. You put in some specifics. It gives you 3 sets of values. It gives you the low, the median, and the high, and then it kind of rounds out your average value for collections. That's kind of cool. You can have a want list and go out there and search for records that you're interested in. And what's great is if you do that, when one becomes available, Discogs will send you an email with the seller's information, and you have the option to go in and buy. And this is the section we're going to concentrate today on. You can buy and sell music right here on Discogs. It's a very cool marketplace. And down here you can see this option to list for free on Discogs. That's a huge benefit as well. There are no listing fees when you list records or any sort of music on Discogs. Speaking of fees, there's a page right here that spells out a very simple fee structure. You can see it's completely free to list anything you want. They charge 8% on the sale of your item, and you can see it breaks it down into some level of detail. If you have a measly $1 item, they only charge you 10 cents. That's a minimum. But here's an example. If you were to sell a $100 record, they would take their $8. It's really amazing when you consider the fees of some other marketplaces. This is more than reasonable, and the fact that you can list for free is definitely a benefit. So that's the fee structure here on Discogs. All right, so let's go back to the home page, and let's say you've established an account and you're ready to roll and you want to list an item for sale. All you're going to do is go up to this Marketplace tab, click on that, and you'll see the different options. You want to go to Sell Music, List an Item for Sale. You're greeted with this screen. What's amazing about this, and I think some other resellers have discussed this before, but I want to go into a little more detail because music is kind of my thing. In theory, you do not need to upload photos to Discogs. The database is quite extensive, and odds are the record that you want to list for sale is already going to have photos in there. Kind of similar to Amazon with some items. You don't need to upload a photo. Makes it really, really simple. You can search for some specifics. I'll throw in my band, the Beatles. You can see this is kind of filling in auto-populated based upon stuff I've put in. If you just fill in these specifics that you want, help would be 1965. If you have a barcode, obviously that's really simple because if you put that in, it'll populate everything else. The majority of the records that I sell existed long before there was a barcode. So it's not going to really be applicable for me, but this is very key too. If you go here and hit this drop down, you could see, you could search for vinyl on CD, CD, or just vinyl. In my case, I'm going to do just vinyl. You hit the search bar. What it's going to do, you can see there's 97 results based on the parameters I put in. If I have a specific catalog number, which is typically found right on your record sleeve, you put that in, it's going to whittle down this list substantially. But just putting in the basic information that I've supplied, here's what's available. So at this point, again, have your record at hand, take a look. You can see this is a Swedish version. You could do different countries. You have a UK single here. Again, I'm looking for just LPs. I'm looking to sell an LP. Here's a classic, a mono 65 version. So if you click on that, you'll see that it kind of populates all this information for you. It gives you some general pricing information, which is really helpful if you're looking to competitively price your item. And here's where you can select the condition of your record. And one thing I definitely want to make mention of is the folks that are on Discogs are quite particular. They're connoisseurs of music and records. I'm not saying anything against eBay buyers, but your general eBay buyer that's looking for a record is looking for a record. They're not going to get deep into the woods as far as specific matrix numbers or get very detailed. The people on Discogs are going to be detailed. So be honest about your media condition. It's much better to be honest and say, okay, it's really just in good condition. And then you can fill in some specifics here in the comments section. Same thing with the sleeve condition. Sleeves for a 50-something-year-old record are typically not going to be in the best condition in the world. Be honest about it. Highlight any flaws if you need to. So you just populate those. These are all optional fields. If you want to say where you are, you're welcome to do that. If you want to put any specific private comments for yourself, you can do that. And here's where you can place your pricing information. You can see Discogs is kind enough to give you a suggested price. You're welcome to use that, or you can use any price you'd like, depending on condition and other variables. Here's a nice little tick box. If you want to allow offers, go ahead and click that. If you happen to have multiples of this record, you fill in the particulars here. In my case, it would just be one. You can see it defaults to a weight of 230 grams. That's a typical weight for a record combined with its sleeve. And it is literally as simple as that, everybody. You click on List for Sale, and poof, your item is listed. I'm not going to do it because I don't happen to have this record handy to sell, but that's how simple it is to go in and list on Discogs. I do want to make mention of another key point. If you click here on your shipping policies, this is where you can create shipping policies for your store. Totally up to you. You can see I have a $5 media mail shipping policy. If you wanted to add one, let's go ahead. We just click on Add a Shipping Policy. You can go in and put specific countries that you want to ship to, or you could just leave it here where it says entire world. That kind of makes it pretty simple. And this is where you can go in and put your specifics. So if you wanted to offer free shipping for a certain price, if a buyer purchases, let's say $100 or more, you would put that in and it would automatically offer free shipping to those buyers. Well, that's it, everybody. Like I said, we can get a little deeper into records as a whole and discuss some of the details because there are quite a few. But Discogs is a fantastic website, a fantastic resource in general, just to check out values of records. If you wanted to list on eBay or Amazon or any other selling platform, it's a great way to find out details about your records that you might not have known before. So thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this. Please, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them right there below the video. If you'd be kind enough to give a big thumbs up for this video, I'd really appreciate it. It allows other viewers who might be interested in this content to be able to see it. Like and subscribe to our channel. Thanks so much for joining me today. Bye-bye.